Pollution comes from human activity. These activities range from dumping and littering to the creation of acid rain and even noise. But what is it exactly? Remember, our objective is to define pollution. Pollution is any harmful addition to the environment. This is the definition that we're required to learn. Pollution affects air, fresh water, sea, soil, and land. If you like, it affects the global ecosystem. Do you remember the biosphere? Remember that round thing with life on it? The biosphere is the part of the Earth and its atmosphere in which life can exist. It includes the soil, the air or the atmosphere, and the waters. Within the idea of waters, you have the seawater and you have the fresh water. Remember, we saw the biosphere, S-A-W, the soil, the air, and the water. Now, pollutants are chemicals of human origin created by humans that harm the environment. Some pollutants are normally present in the air. For example, carbon dioxide has such a bad name as a pollutant, but it is normally present in the air. Its levels, though, can be increased by human activity. Now, carbon dioxide, a waste from respiration, is excreted. That is not a pollutant. However, excess carbon dioxide from burning fossil fuels is a pollutant, and that is what we are particularly interested in, as it leads to the formation of acid rain or a pollution that harms the environment. Remember, our objective is to focus in on one pollutant from industry. Burning fossil fuels is an industrial source of pollution. I am going to focus on the burning of fossil fuels, as there will be an overlap between this industrial activity and our discussion on the environmental impact of a human activity. Also, you might already know a lot of this from geography. Remember, boring is best. Now, burning fossil fuels releases sulphur dioxide. Sulphur dioxide is the industrial pollutant. The effect of sulphur dioxide is that it dissolves in water, forming acid rain. Looking at this a little more closely, the sulphur dioxide, SO2 for the chemists, or for those of you able for a bit more, reacts with particles in the air, particles like water and oxygen, and this reaction, accompanied by sunlight, creates sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is a very strong acid found in car batteries, for example. Sulfuric acid, H2SO4, again for the chemists, dissolves in the water droplets or dissolves in water to create acid rain. The resulting rain is very acidic and can be carried or blown away by the wind. Therefore, acid rain is a transboundary problem, and the acid rain pollution can be carried into other countries. Therefore, it is obvious that sulphur dioxide levels need to be monitored and controlled. This can be done by fitting catalytic scrubbers in factory chimneys. Scrubbers are air pollution control devices that remove any polluting or dangerous gases. Scrubbers use solvents like water to wash the waste gases before they are emitted. Therefore, the air pollutants like sulphur dioxide is filtered out. Now we have to discuss the ecological impact of one human activity. Like I said, we are going to focus on the burning of fossil fuels. Let's make life easier and reuse what we know. Before we can fully understand the creation of acid rain and see the ecological impact of this human activity, we need to first look at normal rain. Carbon dioxide dissolves in rainwater to form carbonic acid. We have this idea already because bubbles of carbon dioxide dissolve in Coca-Cola, creating carbonic acid, which can damage or wear our teeth if we drink too much of it. Now, the pH of a carbonic acid is 5.5. So in other words, normal rain is acidic. Remember the pH scale? It is a measure of acidity. It goes from 0 to 14. 7 on the scale is neutral. Values less than 7 are acidic, and values more than 7 are basic. 5.5 is less than 7, so normal rain is acidic. Acid rain is very acidic rain. It has a pH of 4.5 or less. The smaller the number, the more acidic the substance. Now that we understand acid rain, let's look at the impact of burning fossil fuels. As we've already learned, burning fossil fuels releases sulphur dioxide, SO2 for the chemists. The sulphur dioxide reacts with particles in the air to form sulfuric acid, H2SO4 again for the chemists. This acid rain is carried away by the wind. Remember, we met this concept before. That is the beauty of choosing this as the human activity that we are focusing on. So, what are the effects of acid rain? AKA, in other words, and this is the vital point. What is the ecological impact of burning fossil fuels? Well, here they are. Acid rain damages limestone buildings. There are a lot of statues suffering acid rain damage to the extent that they are barely recognizable anymore. Acid rain leaches or washes away the nutrients from soil, leaving the soil very impoverished or infertile. Acid rain inhibits chlorophyll formation. Chlorophyll is the green colour found in plants, and if it cannot be formed, then plants can no longer be green. In fact, they turn yellow, and the foliage or the leaves are damaged. Fish eggs in streams or rivers or ponds, fish eggs are damaged, and as a result, they will not hatch. This can lead to lifeless lakes. Acid rain causes breathing difficulties because it irritates the lining of our lungs, accentuating or making worse any problems with asthma or bronchitis. Lastly, acid rain affects the quality of water supplies, in particular if we are getting our water from lakes. Obviously, there's a great need for continual monitoring of the environment. We have to monitor the levels of these pollutants, in particular sulphur dioxide. We can control the levels of pollution by fitting catalytic scrubbers in factory chimneys and filtering out the harmful pollutants before they are emitted. Burn less fossil fuels will cut down on the levels of sulphur dioxide and carbon dioxide. Use clean energy sources. For example, make use of solar energy and wind energy to generate electricity rather than coal-fired stations. And lastly, make greater use of public transport or electric vehicles. At the end of the day, Ireland is lucky that the prevailing winds are from the Atlantic and not from Europe. It's blown away from us.